I don't know you, but I feel like I do. Because if you're under 40, you sound exactly like I once did inside my own head. Certain. Busy. Sure, there would be time later. I'm speaking to you now not as someone who figured life out. Please like the video and subscribe my channel if you love your mother, but as a woman who waited too long to ask the right questions. When I was younger, I believed time was generous. Not infinite but flexible. I thought it would bend around my plans, my ambition, my sense of not yet. I didn't rush love. I didn't prioritize rest. I postponed listening. And for a long time, nothing bad happened. That's how life tricks you. Nothing breaks all at once. Nothing collapses loudly. You don't get a warning siren when you're drifting away from yourself. You just drift. When you're under 40, you're praised for being tired. You're admired for being busy. You're told that exhaustion is proof you're building something meaningful. So you believe it. You tell yourself this pace is temporary, that you'll slow down once things are secure, that presence can wait until success arrives. I told myself those things too. I remember looking at my calendar more than I looked at people. I remember conversations where my body was present, but my mind was already leaving. I remember promising myself I'd be more available after this phase. That phase never ended. What no one prepares you for is how quietly life moves forward without your permission. One day, your parents' voices sound different, softer, slower. One day, friendships feel less automatic and more scheduled. One day, your body doesn't bounce back, it negotiates. And you don't notice any of it right away, because you're busy surviving the life you created. I thought I was being responsible. I thought I was doing what grown adults do: sacrifice now, enjoy later. But later isn't a place you arrive at. It's a moment you either live or miss. I used to believe love was patient, that real relationships could survive neglect because they were strong. That was one of my most expensive mistakes. Love doesn't die from conflict. It dies from absence, from unanswered messages, from postponed conversations, from showing up distracted instead of present. People don't always leave when they're hurt. Sometimes they leave when they feel invisible, and often they leave quietly. I wish someone had told me that success doesn't protect you from loneliness, that independence doesn't replace intimacy, that proving yourself can cost you yourself. But no one told me, because from the outside, I looked fine. I was functioning. I was achieving. I was admired. Inside, I was thinning. I didn't feel pain yet, just distance. Distance from my own emotions. Distance from the people who loved me before I became busy. Distance from the version of myself who once laughed without checking the time. That distance grows slowly, so slowly that you adapt to it. Until one day, you realize you don't know how to stop. If you're under 40, I need you to understand this. You don't lose your life all at once. You trade it away in pieces so small they feel harmless. One missed dinner, one ignored call, 1 year of saying, "I'll make it up later." Later keeps moving. I believed my body would forgive me. I believed stress was temporary. I believed sleep was optional. Your body keeps score. It remembers every night you told it to wait, every meal you skipped, every moment you chose endurance over care. One day, it collects. And when it does, it doesn't ask if you're ready. I wish I had understood earlier that rest isn't a reward for productivity. It's a requirement for being alive. I wish I had known that slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. Sometimes it means finally arriving. When you're young, you measure life by progress, by milestones, by forward motion. But as time passes, you realize life is measured in moments you were actually there for. Not the emails you sent, not the goals you hit, but the conversations where you listened without rushing, The evenings that didn't need documenting. The people who felt seen around you. Those become priceless. And here's the part no one likes to admit. Regret doesn't come from what you tried and failed at. It comes from what you never showed up for. I don't regret working hard. I regret working absent. I regret the way I half listened. The way I assumed people understood my silence. The way I believed love would wait. If you're under 40, please hear this clearly. The people in your life don't need your future version. They need you as you are now. Unpolished. Imperfect. Present. Your parents don't want your achievements. They want your attention. Your partner doesn't want your potential. They want your consistency. Your children, if you have them, won't remember how hard you worked. They'll remember how often you were there. I thought there would always be time to explain, time to apologize, time to reconnect. Time is not sentimental. It doesn't pause because you meant well. One of the hardest moments of my life was realizing how much I had postponed emotionally. Not because I didn't care, but because I thought I could delay caring without consequence. You can't. Emotional neglect feels mild at first, but it compounds. And one day, you wake up surrounded by the life you built, and unsure how to live inside it. If you're under 40, you still have something extraordinary, elastic time. You can still change without everything breaking. You can still choose presence before loss forces it on you. You can still course correct gently, but only if you stop assuming there will be a later. Later is fragile. Later is not guaranteed. This isn't about fear. It's about honesty. Life doesn't require perfection. It requires attention. It asks you to notice when you're rushing through moments that won't return. It asks you to choose people over productivity sometimes. It asks you to listen to your body before it has to shout. I used to think strength meant pushing through. Now I know strength sometimes means stopping, sitting, feeling, staying. If I could speak to my younger self, I wouldn't tell her to work less. I'd tell her to feel more, to notice when joy is quiet, to protect her relationships as carefully as her goals, to understand that life isn't something you prepare for, it's something you participate in. If you're under 40, please don't wait for exhaustion to teach you what balance could have shown you gently. Don't wait for loss to teach you what presence could have given you freely. Don't wait until silence becomes permanent. You are not behind. You are not late, but you are not early either. This moment right now is asking for your attention. And one day, when you look back, you'll be grateful you listened before it was too late.